what would be maybe the one big takeaway that you'd propose to our listeners?
Well, I think similar to our discussion on Switzerland, look through rules under 954C6, we could see activity in the next couple weeks, right? So continue, over these next few weeks to monitor that legislation, monitor that progress, because, we could see some substantial activity before the end of the year.
Great. Ryan?
I think speaking of that activity, we're seeing a lot of change here, right? Around the globe, not just in the US, but around the world. So it's a lot of information, it's a lot of things to think through. So I think it never hurts to just go back to the basics and ground yourself in the principles of 740. I mean, we've talked about here today what is an income tax, and Damien gave the definition of a deferred tax asset. So I think that's important when you're thinking about what all of this activity means for your financial statements.
And I'll maybe just add mine. You mentioned new information in assessing uncertain tax positions. I think across the board of everything we've talked about, it's really important that you're accounting for information in the period in which it's received. So we talked about regulations. You have to think about how you'd consider, temporary or final versus proposed. But even as we come into year end or, December 31st, and even as we look ahead into the first quarter, it's just so critical that a company has a process in place in order to measure monitor, know that they're coming, but then also be prepared to respond to some of your earlier comments. So I think just that process in place to always be staying ahead of these developments, as difficult as that may be, is important.